Good afternoon and welcome to Black Petal Gardening. This is Sia again, and I am here in Oregon, which is in Zone 8B in the Pacific Northwest, and we are looking at the second bin that we're going to start getting planted out, and I'm very excited about that. So what you're actually seeing here is I wanted to get an idea of where the various seeds that I'm going to be planting in here are going to go, make sure I've got my spacing set. And so first I started over here with the cucumber. So we have two types of cucumber. One's dragon's egg and the other is like Mexican sour gherkin, I think it's called. I'm figuring, since the packages said, about 12 inches apart, 8 to 12 inches, we can do two of the dragon's egg and then one of the small sour gherkin. Both of them are experimental for us. Both of them were purchased as a novelty item to purchase. So we'll see what they turn out into once it's warmed up just a little bit more, and we can get the seeds in the ground. Now, when I was looking online, I also was looking at companion planting, which is not something that I necessarily was looking into very closely before, but lettuce is apparently a good companion for cucumbers. And so we were going to plant the butter crunch head lettuce. Let's see, this is supposed to be thinned to 8 to 12 inches apart, so I'm just going to do them 8 inches from the get-go and 1/4 inch deep. So I did figure that spacing out, and since I want to succession sow those, I'm going to plant in a kind of a diagonal in order to gotta figure out where the diagonal is that I did. So in order to make sure that we have a little bit of time, so in about 2 weeks is when I'll do the other 4. Now, one thing I did not do before coming out here is get my little signs put together to show where everything is that's been planted, what it actually is, but I will do that in a little bit. So the next item is carrots, and carrots are a good companion for lettuce, I believe, and it's also good for cabbage. And we are going to be doing cabbage over here, and then our Brussels sprouts are going to go over there. We're still hardening off both of those, so it might be a while before those get planted. But we're doing the carrot purple dragon. And these need to be planted 1/4 of an inch deep and 2 to 3 inches apart. So that is the spacing that I did on them. And again, I'm going to succession sow again, except this time I'm going to do a full row, and then we'll do the succession sow in the row next to it. am trying to keep it to just one per, because I don't want to have to clean. And honestly, I may have made those just a little deeper than it called for, so that could mean it'll take a little bit longer for them to germinate and come up. But it is supposed to be raining this evening, so I'm just going to wait for the rains to come in as far as watering is concerned. And the nice thing is, finally, by the end of this week, we're supposed to get some really warm temperatures in the 70s and maybe even into the low 80s, which feels like a miracle considering the weather we've been dealing with lately. So I'm hoping that that'll spur some additional growth for the stuff that we are able to get into the garden. Okay, and to, kind of go over what I did to make my decisions as far as how to figure out my spacing, I used my handy dandy little trowel shovel thing, which actually has a 4-inch mark on it. And so if I want something that's 12 inches, because this is a 12-inch sized utensil, I use that to do my rough estimate. If I want things like in this case, I wanted to make sure that my carrots and my lettuce were approximately 8 inches apart. So from here to the 4 would be 8 inches. I am going to leave my little bits of wood that I took from our covering over here to retain the spacing. Hopefully, with the weather, it won't dislodge stuff too much, and that'll be retained until I'm able to plant the rest of the stuff that's supposed to be planted in here. Well, I wanted to make sure that this was just a quick little thing, so I am going to close here. I hope you have a marvelous evening, and until next time, take care of yourself